Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to insert a photograph into a Google Slide. Now, if you're on a Chromebook or a PC, you can do this pretty much the same way. First thing I want to show you is let's say, Mr. Jensen, I don't have my own photograph. And so could you show me how do I do this? Well, there's two ways you can do this. You could just go to Google like this, and you could put in a photograph of something that you want to place on there. So maybe I want a photo of a horseback rider. So I go into my photo of a horseback rider. I click on images at the top, and it's going to show me pictures of people doing horseback riding. And so maybe I want to use one of these for my rule of thirds representation, which is totally fine. And so I look at this and I go, okay, what could I do for horseback riding? Well, maybe you like a picture of, like this is a good picture here of somebody doing, I like this action shot here. Now let's do this one. Let's do this picture where this couple is riding with each other. I can right click on it and I can copy image. So right click with your mouse, copy image. And then you go back to your picture and you right click on this slide and you paste like this. And now your picture is just right there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take these lines and I want you to bring them over to show that rule of thirds. And so let's do this. Let's just extend this a little bit down. Oops. Right click your picture if that happens, by the way, if your line goes to the back. Click your picture, right click it, order, send to the back, and it'll bring that line forward because that happens sometimes. And so we're going to go ahead and put this right like this, split this picture into thirds. So there's 3 parts of it like this for my horseback riding. And then once you get that down, you're going to do your horizontal picture lines like this. And so what they did in this picture, I could tell, is they used rule of thirds really well in that they put the couple's faces on that same rule of thirds line. And look at what they did. They pretty much balanced that picture so that their smiles and their faces are right along this line. Their feet are kind of right along this line. And then they're in that center third of this picture. They put them in that center third of this picture. And they really did a good job lining it up. Boy, that doesn't look like it's a little off, doesn't it? There we go. And so that is how I want you to take that. So if you get a picture off the internet, you can do it that way. And if you're saying, well, Mr. Jensen, mine's not off the internet. How do I do my picture if it's one that I took? If it's from your cell phone, let's say your cell phone picture, then you're going to have to do something, which is save your picture from your cell phone to your Google Drive. And to do that on your cell phone, you're going to have to download Google Drive from the App Store. And then when you go to your picture on your cell phone, you have an option to save it, upload it to your Google Drive. And then it's just a matter of going to Google and going to this little waffle up here and go into your Drive and just finding your picture. You can do that. If you have an Android phone, you can get Google Photos too. So you could do that. Or let's say you're on your computer and you want to just use one from your computer. And that's something you want to do. You can insert from right here. I'll take this picture away. You can insert here a picture. So you could go to insert image and you can upload from your computer, upload from your Drive, upload from photos or a camera from your computer if you wanted to just use your computer as your camera. But from your Drive or your photos, anything there. Let's say I want to upload from my computer. I click on that. It's going to ask me where it's saved. And on a PC, it gives you all your different folders that they're saved in. And most likely it's going to be saved probably in your pictures folder. And so you'd go into your pictures folder here, save pictures, and then you'd click on your picture, whatever picture you wanted to use. Maybe it's Chewy. And then you'd pull Chewy in there, right click him, order him so that he's in the back. That way when you drag these over again, it's not a big deal. And then you could say, okay, cool. Here's how my rule of thirds is being used in this one, Mr. Jensen, is, they use rule of thirds for Chewy's eyes and basically framed him out. So that's how you would do something like that from your computer to do that. And then there's your picture. Of course, it's going to be on here. So I want you to put your picture on there. There's 2 of them for you to do this. Place your picture on the slide, move the lines over to show the rule of thirds. And then this one here, I got a picture of Maui to show you. This time, just place what you think is a great picture you find showing a rule of thirds. You could even horseback rider. I wonder if you just put in rule of thirds. It might even show you. Oh, yeah, right here. It's a perfect example of showing that rule of thirds. So there you go. Horseback riding with the rule of thirds portion of that. Oh, that's a great one for a rule of thirds. Look at that one. Copy image. I'm going to show you. That'd be a great one to show rule of thirds on, because you can just literally see it immediately when you look at this picture. Don't follow your dreams, chase them. It's a great picture. Look at this. If I was to put these lines over this picture, I mean, literally, you don't get any more rule of thirds than this. Oh, whoops. Click the picture, Jensen. Click order, send it to the back. Look at this. Perfect rule of thirds with that horse coming right through the thirds. There's the horse's face. The rider's right behind, just skipping through. I love it. It looks like the horse and her are both smiling as they're just flying through. I mean, super easy picture to set a rule of thirds up on, just to show where those cross lines are. As you split this picture into thirds, you just go, wow, this photographer literally used rule of thirds. Look at that. And then you could stretch those lines out if you want to, but there's tons and tons and tons of pictures that have rule of thirds on them. So those lines are just there for you to use and create your lines to show the rule of thirds. All righty. That is how you do that.